On.
Yikes. Well, thank you. I'm Sean Baird with Twin Falls Chamber, and appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing and look at what we want to do next year. A couple of the points that Debbie made that I'd like to just continue to reinforce is we really do work closely together. There's no need for us in a relatively small part of the state to be competing with each other, and so we've just found it to be much more effective to share our resources, focus our attentions in slightly different areas so we're not duplicating efforts, but still work together. And I think you'll see that in my request. I left a copy of this on your chair during the break, so hopefully you have that there. I'd like to just quickly say, too, the southern Idaho area continues to be a bit of an economic bright spot in the state. We are, I like to say, flat is the new black. We're not as far off as some other parts of the state in our bed tax collections, so that's good. Again, Debbie and I realize we probably asked for a few more funds than are available, but we're willing to go back and make those changes as we need to. But the general economy is holding strong as can be expected. At the chamber, we're actually up about 11% in our number of members from January of 2008. Now, financially, we're about flat. We've lost some larger members who paid greater dues, but we've picked up a lot of smaller members to offset that. So, we continue to be pretty strong. For our request for the coming year, very similar to what we've done the last couple of years. Under advertising, we have some general advertising, the images of Southern Idaho Magazine, which I failed to pick up copies of this morning. I apologize for that. But you've seen that the last few years. That's a publication that we produce in partnership with Journal Communications, and it's we do 10,000 copies of that, and that's distributed to visitor inquiries as well as at the visitor center. And then through advertisers as well, our chamber members buy advertising in that, and then they receive copies of those. So a lot of our real estate folks and relocation folks are sending those out. Some Adventure Guide, that's a Times News publication that they do each year. It's kind of the what's coming up this summer, and then they do a winter one as well. That's distributed throughout their area. They're part of a larger publishing company, so it's down into the Elko area, western Wyoming, and throughout south central Idaho. That has an online component as well. We do hope to participate in the spring-summer Idaho Insert again. That's been a very effective tool for us to promote the region broadly. It's a great lead generation source as well, and we've done the online iBrochure, which has been a really handy way to fulfill those requests without having to bundle up a bunch of printed materials and ship it off. Our second element, our online marketing, this is something that we tiptoed into. Actually, we didn't really tiptoe. We just jumped in full force here a couple years ago, thanks to support from the Travel Council in doing some podcasts and various types of things. I just want to show you a couple of items that we've managed to do. In February, we launched this new website. This is our Twin Falls Chamber website. The one area that we continue to grow and I'm very excited about is this travel guide. So what this includes on it is our video podcasts that we've been producing over time thanks to the Travel Council funds. So those are all featured here. You just click on one of these and it will play it. But what we've added over the last several months are individual podcasts or business profiles or whatever you want to call them. They're 60-second videos. We're actually creating these for each of our chamber members. So 864 chamber member businesses over the course of 2.5 years will have these 60-second videos produced. The part we've started with are lodging properties. So as you go to this page here under Travel Guide, you click on Lodging, and as you click the individual member, I love wireless connections. I'll let that load for a second. As you click it, you come, so here's the America's Best Value Inn, which is on Blue Lakes and Twin Falls. This page pops up. It gives you their contact information. You have a link to their website. If you scroll down on this, you come to a Google map on how to get there. And then in this box, on each one of them, again, this is a wireless connection, but trust me, they're there. There's a 60-second video profile for each of these.
My name is Maribel Gerardo. I'm the general manager, owner of this property, America Society in Apollo. What makes us stand out?
So what we do is we go out and we interview the manager at each of these places. We ask them a handful of questions about what it is they offer, what makes them unique, why do they like living and doing business in Southern Idaho. We edit that down into a 60-second video, showcase their property. We've just got all these lodging properties in the last probably 6 weeks or so. So we continue down that road. This online marketing component is sort of it's the video production of those that are tourism related. The match dollars are coming from chamber If you're a car dealer, you're going to have one. If you're a restaurant, if you're a grocery store, whatever you are, it's just been a lot of fun. And I think this should be fun. It shouldn't be a whole bunch of work. And we've had great feedback from our members. So that's that giant component there. One other piece that we're including funding in here for is social networking and lead generation. As Debbie mentioned on the Southern Idaho Tourism site, they're going to be integrating with Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the sort of existing sites. As part of our chamber website launch, we created a mytwinfallschamber.com. It's a business-to-business social networking site. It's our own site. So we've created that. We have our chamber members joining that. They're sharing information, networking opportunities in an online setting. We'd like to expand that to be something available to the general public. This is actually a prototype site. It's not live yet. But basically it's a social networking site that lets you do all the same kinds of things you can do on Facebook. You post your events, you can post photos, videos, all those types of things. So on this one, we just filled this up with a bunch of random people. So on here, we've loaded up our travel cast. We posted some photos. These were actually some Shoshone Falls photos I took on Earth Day, actually. Earth Day night. It was about 10 o'clock. I went down and took these photos. We just think it's a great opportunity for people to share their user-generated content. Photos, videos, blogs. I had a swell time staying at the Burley Inn, whatever the case may be. And we'd like to fund that with these dollars, integrate it into our site, integrate it into Debbie's site. You can cross-use this stuff back and forth to Facebook and MySpace and all these other places. The bonus of this video production, too, is you only incur the cost once for the video that you have to produce. So we've reused it for TV ads. We've cut online commercials for events. It just gives you a lot of opportunity to reuse those things. So that's sort of our online piece. And then the final element that you see there, and I know I get this question every year, is the Harrod Center. The reason it's broken out as a separate element is because it's easier for me to keep track of the accounting, which makes Kathy's life easier. The College of Southern Idaho houses the Harrod Center. They actually front the costs for all of these various components that they do. Submit that to me. I submit that as part of our reimbursement, and it's just easier to keep those all in one place. But again, they utilize a lot of the same types of things that we're doing, print publications, TV, radio. They'd like to expand into some further online components this year, and that pretty much sums up the request. Any questions?